What just unfolded might be one of the most chaotic, layered, and reputation-shaking celebrity scandals we've seen in years. And the wildest part? It's still unfolding in real time. We're not talking about a petty rumor or a random blog post with blurry screenshots. We're talking about alleged text threads, voice notes, hotel confirmations, overlapping timelines, and now a video that completely shifted public opinion overnight. At the center of it all stands undisputed boxing champion Claressa Shields, lyrical rapper and longtime husband Papoose, and his wife of nearly 2 decades, Remy Ma. What started as whispers in Hawaii has now turned into a digital war playing out across live streams, reaction channels, and group chats. And trust me when I tell you, every hour the narrative shifts. Let's rewind. The first spark came from what seemed like a subtle flex. There were rumors that Papoose was in Hawaii. Not unusual, not scandalous by itself, but then came a post from a woman who allegedly captioned something along the lines of, "I'm in Hawaii, same pretty too." It wasn't loud, it wasn't accusatory, but it felt intentional, because at the time, Claressa and Papoose were publicly presenting unity. Photos, supportive posts, affectionate energy. Claressa, a dominant force in women's boxing, had been standing confidently beside him. And let's be clear, Claressa Shields is not just any athlete. She's widely considered one of the greatest female boxers of all time. Multiple championships, undisputed status, a resume that commands respect. Inside the ring, untouchable. Outside the ring, that's where things got complicated, because shortly after that Hawaii chatter, a blurry late-night lounge clip surfaced. The lighting was dim, the angle wasn't perfect, but the figure walking into frame looked strikingly like Papoose. Same posture, same beard outline, same way of leaning in close while speaking. And beside him was a woman. It was not Claressa. Social media went into investigation mode immediately. Freeze frames were dissected like courtroom evidence. Side-by-side comparisons flooded timelines. People zoomed in on watches, shoes, silhouettes, even the way the man tilted his head while laughing. And then the phrase started trending, "caught again." That single word, again, implied history, a pattern, a storyline deeper than what the public had seen. And then the situation escalated. Controversial blogger Tasha K went live. No warm-up, no easing into it. She claimed she had been sitting on receipts for weeks, alleged proof that Claressa was not blindsided like the public might think. According to her, there were private messages suggesting Claressa had been warned about at least one other woman before this latest lounge clip ever surfaced. Allegedly, Claressa had told friends things like, "He not even like that, y'all don't know him," and "I'm solid over here." That word solid became the internet's new obsession, because now the narrative wasn't just, is he cheating? It became, did she know? Tasha K went further, claiming there were contradictions in Claressa's alleged private conversations versus her public statements. She teased what she called a contradiction file, implying Claressa had privately demanded reassurance while publicly projecting confidence and exclusivity. And the internet loves nothing more than perceived hypocrisy. Then came the moment that detonated everything. Less than 12 hours after the lounge clip circulated, the alleged new woman went live. No music, no dramatic intro, just a steady camera and tens of thousands of viewers flooding in within minutes. "I'm tired of being called new," she said calmly. "New means recent. I've been here." 3 words. I've been here. That statement implied overlap. It suggested timelines colliding. It hinted that this wasn't some sudden fling. It was ongoing. Then she did something even more explosive. She held up her phone and showed a screen recording of alleged text messages scrolling in real time. Dates were visible, pet names were visible. The tone was intimate. One alleged message read, "Stop worrying about her. That's business." Business? If her referred to Claressa, then that reframed everything. Was one relationship personal and the other strategic? Was one person being presented publicly while someone else being reassured privately? Then came an alleged voice note, a calm male voice saying, "You know you my piece, just chill." The phrase, "my piece," started trending instantly because allegedly similar language had been used in other conversations. Now it wasn't just scandal, it was pattern recognition. Claressa did not stay silent. She went live, visibly frustrated but composed. No glam, no theatrics. "I don't share and I don't compete." The chat exploded. Was she denying overlap? Was she dismissing the other woman? Or was she asserting boundaries after betrayal? Then she posted a simple sentence, "I never lied." That statement created a split in public opinion. Some interpreted it as strength, others saw it as deflection. Later, she added something that shifted the tone dramatically. "I'm not the only one he lied to."
That subtle change reframed her from potential rival to potential victim. It suggested manipulation, not competition. Because if multiple women were allegedly told the same reassurances, the same promises, the same language, that's not confusion. That's a script. And soon, the word script started trending. Just when the online fire felt like it might plateau, it exploded again. The alleged side chick didn't go live this time. She posted a video. The angle was low, the energy relaxed. Laughter in the background. A man who looked exactly like Papoose leaned into frame casually, comfortably. Timestamp? 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks. That detail mattered because it overlapped with public appearances where Clarissa and Papoose looked united and affectionate. Reaction channels went live instantly. Screenshots of the timestamp circulated within seconds. Side-by-side comparisons resurfaced of Clarissa posting smiling photos on that same date. The word embarrassed began dominating comment sections. But Clarissa didn't wait this time. She went live within the hour. No tears, no yelling. "You want the truth? Let's tell it." She admitted she had known about situations before, but insisted she was told they were old. She said she had confronted him privately and believed what she was told. Believed. That word changed everything because belief implies trust, and trust implies betrayal. Through all of this chaos, Remy Ma remained largely silent until she didn't. She went live calmly and said, 17 years is a long time. 17. She didn't attack anyone directly, she didn't mention names, but she followed that statement with, "When people show you patterns, believe them." Patterns. The same word that had already been circulating. Her composure was almost more powerful than outrage would have been. It felt measured, reflective, final. And suddenly, the narrative expanded beyond a love triangle. It became about longevity, marriage, loyalty, history. Then came another alleged leak, a supposed group chat between multiple women connected to Papoose at different times. One allegedly wrote, "He said I was the only one." Another, "He told me she knew." Another, "He said it was open." Open? If it was open, why the secrecy? Why the alleged "don't go public" warnings heard in voice notes? Contradictions were piling up faster than explanations. Meanwhile, Tasha K teased what might be the most explosive drop yet, a full, unedited phone conversation allegedly featuring Papoose telling one of the women, "I can fix this if y'all stop talking." Stop talking. That phrase implies awareness, coordination, damage control. And if that full call ever drops, there may be no recovering from it. At this point, this isn't just about relationships. However, the first spark was so small that no one could have predicted what it would turn into. Reports surfaced that Clarissa had traveled to Hawaii. Papoose was also there. On its own, that information didn't mean much. Public figures attend events together all the time. Clarissa had just secured another impressive victory in the ring, and Papoose had previously been seen proudly walking her to fights and celebrating her wins publicly. Their professional connection didn't automatically imply anything scandalous.
But then, a woman claiming to be Papoose's side chick posted online, saying, "I'm in Hawaii and pretty too." That one sentence shifted the energy. It wasn't a direct accusation, it wasn't a detailed exposé, but it carried implication, it suggested overlap, it suggested presence, and the timing made it suspicious. Social media did what it always does. It connected dots, whether those dots truly belonged together or not. Suddenly, fans weren't just talking about a trip, they were questioning loyalty, marriage, and hidden relationships. Part of why this rumor hit so hard is because of what Remy and Papoose represented to people. For years, they were seen as hip-hop's power couple, resilient, devoted, unshakable. They survived incarceration, they survived industry gossip, they survived the pressures that often break celebrity marriages. Remy frequently spoke about loyalty and unity. Papoose publicly supported her during her prison sentence, reinforcing a narrative of unwavering commitment. So when whispers of infidelity surfaced, it felt like more than gossip. It felt like a betrayal of an image people had believed in. When Remy later claimed she discovered that Papoose had been secretly communicating with Clarissa, the situation escalated from rumor to public marital conflict. According to Remy, there was a moment when she answered Papoose's phone and heard Clarissa's voice on the other end. That moment allegedly confirmed her suspicions. Disbelief turned into anger, and anger turned into public confrontation. Now, let's talk about Claressa. Claressa Shields is not just any athlete. She is widely considered one of the greatest female boxers of all time. Undefeated, multi-division champion, a fighter whose discipline and intensity define her brand. She has built a career on confidence, precision, and refusing to back down from challenges. In the ring, she dominates. Outside the ring, she speaks her mind just as boldly. So when her name became entangled in a married couple's alleged drama, it was unexpected, and for her, it was damaging. Because what started as relationship rumors quickly turned into something far more serious. The situation crossed into dangerous territory when false allegations began circulating online that Claressa had failed a drug test after smoking marijuana with Papoose during the Hawaii trip. This wasn't just gossip. For a professional athlete, a failed drug test can jeopardize endorsements, rankings, credibility, and an entire career built on discipline. The internet erupted instantly. However, the timeline didn't logically align. Only weeks before the scandal, Papoose had publicly supported Claressa, walking her to the ring and celebrating her victory. If there was betrayal happening behind the scenes, why was there such visible public unity? Claressa addressed the drug test rumor directly. She explained that after her fight, she took a routine mouth swab test that showed a tiny trace of marijuana, but she immediately followed it with a urine test, and those results came back completely negative. She insisted she had never smoked anything. She suggested possible secondhand exposure or even CBD-containing supplements as potential explanations for the initial trace result. She pointed out that professionals, including nurses, have lost jobs due to false positives linked to CBD vitamins. For her, this wasn't just clearing up gossip, it was defending her livelihood. Then the drama escalated further when blogger Tasha K became involved. A post appeared on her platform accusing Claressa of smoking marijuana with Papoose and implying she was acting as his side woman. But something about the post felt off. Fans noticed the writing style didn't match Tasha's usual tone. It was written in third person, almost like someone else was speaking on her behalf. Confusion spread quickly. Was this really her statement? Was someone on her team posting without approval? Later, Tasha claimed that a team member had written the caption without her consent, embellishing the story and causing unnecessary drama. She eventually apologized, stating she didn't stand behind the marijuana allegations. However, many viewers questioned the sincerity of that apology. Some believed it was strategic, possibly an attempt to avoid legal consequences rather than a genuine admission of fault. By then, the rumor had already circulated widely. Meanwhile, Remy took to social media with explosive claims. She accused Papoose of betrayal after 17 years of marriage. She alleged that whenever she questioned him about suspicious behavior, he gaslit her, making her feel paranoid or irrational, instead of addressing her concerns honestly. Gaslighting is not a small accusation. It implies manipulation. It implies psychological distortion. It implies someone being made to doubt their own instincts. Remy didn't just accuse her husband. She accused Clarissa of knowingly involving herself with a married man. Screenshots of alleged conversations began circulating online. Fans who once saw Remy and Papoose as the embodiment of enduring love were stunned. The couple, who had weathered so many storms, now looked like just another high-profile relationship cracking under pressure. Clarissa did not remain silent. She denied Remy's narrative and challenged her directly. She refused to accept being labeled a side chick. She insisted she was being unfairly dragged into a marital dispute. However, leaked texts suggested that while Papoose maintained a calm public image, Clarissa may have been reaching out privately. Whether those messages were authentic or fabricated became almost secondary. The mere possibility fueled endless speculation. As Clarissa and Papoose began appearing at events together, fans started referring to them jokingly and sometimes seriously as a new power duo. That label intensified everything. Just when it seemed the drama couldn't escalate further, Clarissa's longtime best friend, Jada, made shocking allegations. She claimed Clarissa had fought with her coach as a teen, had multiple pregnancies, and even gotten into fights while pregnant. The accusations stunned fans. Some believed Jada, viewing her as someone with inside knowledge. Others dismissed her claims, pointing out that professional boxing is heavily regulated and that such behavior would likely have been detected. But regardless of truth, the betrayal from someone close added another layer of chaos. It wasn't just rivals or bloggers speaking, it was someone from her inner circle. By this point, social media was completely divided. One group supported Remy, arguing that after nearly 2 decades of loyalty, she had every right to speak out publicly. Another group defended Clarissa, insisting she was being unfairly villainized without concrete evidence. A third group blamed Papoose entirely, accusing him of manipulating both women and maintaining silence to protect himself. And that silence became one of the loudest elements of the entire saga. Papoose avoided direct confrontation. He posted vague messages but didn't fully address the accusations. Some interpreted that silence as guilt. Others saw it as an attempt to prevent further escalation. But in a public scandal, silence rarely calms speculation. It feeds it. Now everyone is waiting. Will Papoose fight to repair his marriage after 17 years? Will Clarissa distance herself to protect her brand and career? Will Remy release the so-called final receipts she hinted at? Or will this remain a battle of statements, subtweets, and strategic silence? One thing is certain, the fairy tale image of Remy and Papoose has shattered. Clarissa's reputation has been tested in ways that go far beyond boxing, and the internet has once again proven how quickly a simple detail can spiral into a full-blown narrative. This story is no longer just about romance, it's about legacy, image, control, and who ultimately controls the truth. The drama is far from over. People are watching closely to see who makes the next move, who provides undeniable proof, and who ultimately comes out of this with their credibility intact. It's about branding, endorsements, public perception. Clarissa is at the height of her career. Reputational damage could ripple beyond romance. Papoose has built a public identity around loyalty and devotion. Remy Ma represents nearly 2 decades of history. And now, the internet is watching in real time as that image fractures. There have been no direct, detailed denials of specific evidence, only broad statements about clout chasing and false narratives.
And silence in moments like this, it builds pressure. Right now, the internet is divided into 3 camps: those who believe Clarissa was manipulated, those who believe she ignored red flags, and those who think everyone involved knew more than they're admitting. But here's the truth: multiple women, overlapping timelines, repeated language, public humiliation under stadium lights. This isn't a triangle, it's a web. And webs don't unravel cleanly, they tear. So I need to know what you think. Who's telling the truth? Who knew what? And when that full, unedited call drops, because it might, who stands to lose the most? Like this video if you want every receipt dissected the second it hits. Drop your theory below and subscribe with notifications on, because if the next leak lands overnight, you do not want to wake up behind on this story. Trust me, this isn't over.
What just unfolded might be one of the most chaotic, layered, and reputation-shaking celebrity scandals we've seen in years. And the wildest part? It's still unfolding in real time. We're not talking about a petty rumor or a random blog post with blurry screenshots. We're talking about alleged text threads, voice notes, hotel confirmations, overlapping timelines, and now a video that completely shifted public opinion overnight. At the center of it all stands undisputed boxing champion Claressa Shields, lyrical rapper and longtime husband Papoose, and his wife of nearly 2 decades, Remy Ma. What started as whispers in Hawaii has now turned into a digital war playing out across live streams, reaction channels, and group chats. And trust me when I tell you, every hour the narrative shifts. Let's rewind. The first spark came from what seemed like a subtle flex. There were rumors that Papoose was in Hawaii. Not unusual, not scandalous by itself, but then came a post from a woman who allegedly captioned something along the lines of, "I'm in Hawaii, same pretty too." It wasn't loud, it wasn't accusatory, but it felt intentional, because at the time, Clarissa and Papoose were publicly presenting unity. Photos, supportive posts, affectionate energy. Clarissa, a dominant force in women's boxing, had been standing confidently beside him. And let's be clear, Claressa Shields is not just any athlete. She's widely considered one of the greatest female boxers of all time. Multiple championships, undisputed status, a resume that commands respect. Inside the ring, untouchable. Outside the ring, that's where things got complicated, because shortly after